So I thought tonight I talked to you a little bit about balancing ourselves, in other ways that, in ways that it's good for anybody. Actually, it's not pertaining just to the ADHD or, or the neurotypical. Hold on a second, let me. Yeah, or just neurotypical, but the way we human beings need to be aware of our internal experiences and our internal mind, our emotions, our perspectives, so a lot of times when we encounter something we want to do, or with our relationships, or with anything we want to accomplish, or have, or feel, if you have experienced this, just imagine that time that you have kind of like competing voices in your mind. Like you want to go somewhere, but you really don't want to go. You want to do this thing, but something inside you is not very sure about it. There is conflicting voices, and the one that usually wins is not necessarily, the one that could be the best route, that could give us the best route, or tell us the best thing we could do, or be most beneficial to us. Not all the time, right? um, unless we have a very good, solid understanding of ourselves. We are in that realm of authenticity that I was talking about, that we know our feelings, we know our emotions, we know what triggers us. We know we have a lot of information about ourselves and the environment and other people. I mean, it takes a highly developed person to be able to live this life, especially if you have ADHD and living within the greater system of neurotypicals, to align this brain with, that system, in a way that doesn't minimize oneself, doesn't take away from oneself, doesn't, it's still fully, um, you feel whole at the same time. So, there are many ways we can look at these voices, or these, let's say, committee members. If you had committees within yourself, and each member has a different kind of a perspective, or a talent, or experience, or memory, and if you gather this, said, okay, let's sit down, let's have a table, let's invite all the voices within me, right? And have them come and sit at the table. And when I pose the question of, I want to do such and such, but I'm not sure how to go about it. And you asked all the committee members within yourself, what do you think? And what do you think? And what do you think? And everybody really had a chance to voice their opinion, and from their point of view, their specialty, maybe their strength. And together as a committee, come up with a solution that is acceptable for the main you, right? The you who is the collection of all this. That would be amazing. That would be fantastic. That would be something that would, you could have access to all the time. So I came across a book that's called Winning from Within by Ariel Fox. Um, this book was offered to us, or was part of the program I'm in, at the Inner MBA program that I'm a part of. They had us study this book, and basically Ariel Fox, she was a lawyer, a negotiator, and she did consulting with clients, with large corporations, large entities, and consulted with them in closing deals, closing contracts, writing contracts, making sure everything is, covered in a contract, and then even like divorce cases where people had to settle on things. And she said throughout all this time, she had a very good methodology that she used to do her work, and that's why she got large clients too. But nonetheless, she realized that people, when it comes to agree with each other, with the opponent or with the other side of the deal, or that they could just stumble over nothing, over something that could be so small, so non-significant or non, you know, and they would lose a deal, and they would just create so much issue. And she couldn't understand why would a rational, for example, person uh, go this way, take this route, not take that deal, or not cover such and such aspect of a contract. So with a lot of research and a lot of work and a lot of, I guess, help with from academic environment, universities, she devised a um, methodology, if you will, or she calls her thing the Big Four, balance, sort of like balancing the Big Four. And the Big Four are within us, like the members of the committee I was talking about. And she would come across people having difficulty with saying yes to the thing, to the contract, to say no, or to do something that's good for them, you know. Um, and so she realized there are competing agenda or competing voices or competing parts of the person within them that has not been reconciled within them in order to be able to reconcile externally. So she finds these competing kind of parts of the psyche or so, and she calls them the Big Four. Now I would call them the big chiefs. I think it makes more sense to me. So I'm gonna share my screen and show you the Big Four. Let me see. Yeah, I don't know, you guys, when you do a chat thing, I can read it at the same time that I'm lecturing. So, okay. So here's the Big Four. She calls one of them the dreamer, the thinker, the lover, and the warrior within us, right? And then she gave us the strengths of each of them, what each of them provides for us, what each of them, the power source for them, and then the skill they bring, and the business, and a business kind of a analogy like CEO or CFO or so. So she talks about the dreamer. The dreamer is the visionary, if you will, right? It has the strength of the dreamer is creativity. The dreamer provides direction. The dreamer has the power of this, the source power of it is intuition, right? And innovation. And this could be like the CEO. So you could even think of a lot of the ADHD people have this very strongly within them, right? The ability, we have the ability of creativity and intuition and innovation. And then the thinker within you. The strength of a thinker is clarity, because the thinker is able to analyze, to think about it from all different directions and look at resources, go research, find information, and become clear about things. Provides reflection, right? The thinker within you is the one who reflects on things. And the power of it is reason. Whereas the dreamer goes with intuition, the thinker goes with reason. And the skill of the thinker is analysis. And then the business analogy would be CFO or the general counsel. The lover, on the other hand, is the kind of a relationship person. Her strength or his strength is compassion, provides connection, right? The power source of the lover is emotion. So one uses intuition, one uses reason, the other uses emotion. The skill is to create relationships. And so VP of HR, sort of, if this was, because she brought this for the business environment. And the warrior, finally, the warrior is the one that has courage, that protects, that has the willpower. So the warrior is determined and accomplishment. So it's the execution. So the warrior can execute, to implement, to make things happen. So now, if there is a test on this website you can go take that I can send it to you. I'm sure for some of you, maybe you're looking it up right now. That's the habit of people doing that while there's lecture. But so there is a test you can take and see where you stand. So when I took the test, it's either balanced, which is like centered, a balanced, centered, or low or high. So when I took the test, my dreamer is balanced, it's centered. My thinker is centered and balanced. My lover is high, my warrior is low. Right? So okay, so this is information for me to see, okay, where do I need to work to balance things out a little bit in the lover and the warrior, right? And then the idea is to, when there is something substantially, some people can be just really the dreamer, like they just come up with ideas. They can't really implement. They don't think it over. Some people are just come from the emotions, right? Everything through the lens of emotions. They don't really think about it. They don't really see the future like the dreamer can. Some people are warriors. They just implement, or they make rules, and they make um, structures where, like one of the examples, Isabel, you were talking about before with your child. Okay, we're going to do this and that and that and that and that, and every minute is going to be accounted for, because this is better, right? So then what happened was, when you started listening, it's like engaging the lover in you, which is able, I mean, the term lover is what she chose, but it's about relationship. It's about, okay, let me have compassion for this person and this, my child, and listen. And there were more ease, the flexibility, it becomes better. There is something changes within us. uh, so likewise, if the person is only thinking about stuff, thinking things to death, and not implementing, or not considering the compassion of it, not considering, okay, now we need to put it to actually to action. We need to act on this. So the warrior is an action plan. So you take your test and you realize what it is, and then which one you're on, off or balance. And then when you want to uh, think about something that is not really going well, it's you have challenge in the you feel challenged by the task or goal or vision or whatever you need to take care of. Then the idea that she presents, Ariel Fox, Erica, she presents, is to gather, to sit down and engage all four, and ask the warrior, ask the lover, ask the thinker, ask the dreamer. But then before you do that, there is a little bit of understanding that you need to educate yourself about each part. How does it manifest within you? You know, so this is something that can be ongoing. Uh, I actually brought this exercise into the retreat I did this January for setting resolutions, wise resolutions for the year. And so I brought this to the day, and the whole day we worked on it. I had people do an exercise, go reflect on it, come back, talk about it. And so there are steps to take, right? To understand, to see how they manifest within you individually, specifically, and then to see where what voice am I not considering? What voice do I need to listen to within me? First to balance me, and then when I have all of my voices have been heard, all of my sides, all of these chiefs have told me, everything they think should happen, then I can really negotiate, communicate, interact, engage with other people more effectively. What do you think? Any thoughts about this? There is more to it, of course, and there are 3 directors under these, but I just want to, for this session, talk about this is big enough. This is good enough for you guys to think about it. So if you have no questions, I will ask you.
Oh.
Did you do? Did you have?
Oh, no, I said I'd like to be all of them.
You like to be on? Well, you do have them.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, the good news is she says you have them within you. Haha. How about that? You have them within you, so you have to engage them. We resort to one. We may have a tendency or an affiliation with one of them, more so, right? I am a dreamer. I'm a visionary. I'm an artist. I'm a creative. Having an affiliation. But the good news, she says, is that we have the others the other disposal within ourselves.
Inside.
Yeah. So of course you can get the book. You can go on their website about something you feel challenged by, like maybe you want to do a task, you want to do a promotion, you want to have a discussion with somebody, maybe it's a relationship issue, maybe it's a decision you want to, I don't know, you want to buy some shoes. Something that you feel challenged by, not the shoes. Yeah. But and then think about that, and then the first thing to question is who is presenting this, from the without knowing so much about so many more details, whatever we just talked about, these 4 characters within us. Who's presenting? Is the thinker presenting the challenge right now? Is the lover presenting the challenge? Is the dreamer presenting the challenge? Who is it that's presenting the challenge? And if one of you have a thing you want to share, we can really actually use it as an example and work with it. If you like, if you're willing, we can use it as an example and go through it. So the first thing is, who is presenting it? Does that make sense? Do you understand what I'm talking about? If anybody is not clear, please ask me so we don't go on. Okay. So you know who's presenting it. Let's say it's the thinker presenting it. It's thinking too much. It's, has a story about it. You have been thinking about this a lot. So then you would bring each one of the other ones to the picture. Let's say it was the thinker who presented it. Bring the dreamer in. Say, put the word dreamer. Dreamer, what do you think of this? How would I go about this? What is your opinion of this? What is your stance? Where do you stand with this? It's like the intuition maybe of the dreamer is, you're engaging the intuition. I mean, with the time we have right now, I'm not making it very detailed, because, I mean, you could say, okay, dreamer, with your creativity strength, what do you think? Or with your uh, intuition, what do you think? Or with your innovation, with your um, direction, what direction should I take? And then you bring the other ones, the lover, the warrior, the thinker, the ones who are not, right? The first one who presented the challenge, thank you very much. We've heard from you. We're not gonna ask you again. You are the one presenting. We know what you think, or we know how you feel. If you don't know, you could ask also, right? And see if there is an opening somewhere. There is some space. There is some insight. There is some information that can come to you that you weren't really considering before. It wasn't accessible to you as readily, as easily, right? But these are all within you, and you can engage them. My mind. So I'm writing a book, right? And this book I'm writing, it is so, so, so typical of me, of my brain, that I totally see myself as if I'm a spider in the middle of the web, and I'm weaving this web 360 degrees. Now, a book in the neurotypical world is a linear process. Chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3, chapter 4, chapter all these, and then I have to sit down and put these into a linear fashion. Okay, so that's my challenge. So I've been thinking about this, that what's missing or what's low, even the test told me, is my warrior that is low, right? So I engage the warrior. Warrior, I know you have the courage, which I do have the courage. Protection, I do have it. Willpower, I do have it. Accomplishment is the area which I am accomplishing, but it's not conducive to. Okay, so a web, where is the end of it? Right? I need the end. I need the end of this, right? If the spider could weave and weave and weave and weave, there is some, there you have to end. I have to end this process. It's a book, needs to be ended. So I got the message, or I got the insight, or I got the idea that when this series, when the classes end, usually before I start a new series, there is 2 weeks off. Are we over? No, we're not over. We have 2 weeks off between the series, and then the next series up. So I came up with intuitively. My dreamer helped my warrior. The God, they just like communicated with each other, and I'll go back to, okay. Let me go back to who was presenting. So when I'm saying, oh, I have to do this book, and I am creating a lot of content, but the content is not necessarily organized the way the neurotypical wants it organized. It's not wrong, but it's not that way. Okay. So who's presenting it? Is the thinker presenting it? And really the lover who's really loving the formation of this, is really forming so organically, so beautifully. I mean, I have such content coming out that is just like, oh my gosh, I can't control. I don't want to control this thing. And the dreamer also is involved. The intuition is involved. The warrior is not. So everybody's at the table. They're doing their thing, but the warrior has not been heard. I say to the warrior, okay, what do you think? What should I do? So the idea came to me that one of those 2 weeks, I'm going to take one of those 2 weeks and do a retreat. I usually do a meditation retreat from 5 a.m. to 9 p.m. every day, 10 days, 2 weeks, 10 days, whatever, 3 days. Just meditate, meditate, meditate. I thought instead of meditate, I'm going to take a writing retreat. So I will be meditating too, but the way that I put out distraction, the way that I don't respond to emails, no business, nothing. For the meditation retreat, it's so sacred that there's nothing else I do. No social media, no television, no nothing, nothing, no talking to anybody, talking to nobody, no friends, no family, no nothing. It's silent. It's meditation. It's serious. So I thought, I know how to do that, right? The action, I know how to do that. So I will take it a week and make it a retreat, writing retreat. And I'm hoping my vision is within that 1 week, I can really organize all of this. I mean, it is organized. It's not that bad, really, but it can get out of hand, you know. Did I answer? I gave you a lot. I don't know. Was the answer somewhere there
Yeah,
for you?
no, I mean, main part was the asking, and I don't know, for some reason I started thinking about like asking externally, like we're asking somebody else, but
No.
I now know what you mean in terms of
Yes, yes, yes. No, these are
yeah,
all within
asking the
you.
figurative
Right,
chief
right,
within
right.
us.
Within you.
Yeah.
Yes, warrior. What do you think I should do? Now, the thing though, the necessity is for you to know a little bit about the warrior. So educate yourself about, or each one of them. I'm sorry, not just the warrior, but each one of them. You educate yourself about how they manifest, how they show up, and then there are three directors underneath these CEOs and VPs and whatever. They also help out within us. So it's a long process. It's not just this session or next session, but you hopefully will, but then immediately you can get something out of it. Immediately, right? Without having to solve all of your issues, something can show up for you. It's a within you, part of you that you are kind of engaging and inviting to the table, to the negotiation table. This is the inner negotiation. And then it's a negotiation. So the lover may say, no, but we can't do that. We can't, what about this and what about that? And the thinker says, but this, but that. So negotiation is something that you also compromise. You also consider every, right, every kind of need, want, or voice or perspective of these parts of yourself that you're not gonna. It's very useful for business, useful for relationships, useful for anything actually. Like I said, if you're going to buy some shoes and the lover says, "Oh, I want this so bad," it's emotions, you know. And the thinker says, well, you don't got the money, it's not right. But the dreamer says, oh, if I wear them, oh my God, what's gonna happen? And whatever, I don't know. The warrior says, no, we're not gonna do it. And you're all upset about with the warrior. Why'd you make it this decision on my behalf? I wanted those shoes. I didn't get those shoes.
But we would positively reframe it so that they would give us positive solutions to the issue, right?
Yes.
Rather
Yes. So
right.
also the idea is to not minimize, right, these other voices within us, not ignore and neglect these other aspects of ourselves, and use their strength. Look, they have willpower, they have power sources, they have strength, they have skills, they can provide something to us. About having insight from our within ourselves. Because we have the American culture, Western culture is so outwardly oriented to get information from outside. Go outside the box, they say. I say, come inside the box. Come inside the box, inside the box. Come back inside the box. Don't go outside the box. Come inside the box. And so this could be a way to, you know, you can, well, you know, play with it and see what shows up. Okay? Yeah?
Sounds good.
Sounds good. So let's take a deep breath.
Right.
Yeah. Feel your breath. And let's set an intention for ourselves. Quietly in your mind, repeat, may I be peaceful. May I be open, flexible. May I be patient, have courage, understanding, and determination to meet life's difficulties with ease, with kindness. May I be attentive. And may all beings who encounter me benefit from a moment of my kindness, mindfulness, attentiveness, my sense of presence, even for one moment. May all beings be well. Okay, so have a good night, sleep well. I will see you next week. Next week is our last week, yeah? Our last session. And the next course is up already to register